The last time I flew this pitch, I had a dead stick that wound up having me squash the landing gear a little bit. I did bend them back to where they looked right, but I never checked to be sure that there was a little bit of toe in. And when I set 17 pounds of biplane down on a rain-soaked runway, the wheels were towed out a little bit, and that spread them out more, and the plane essentially hit the brakes. And this isn't what the cameraman or I were expecting. Now I'm going to fix them the right way, and we're going to show you how to do it. The first thing I do is remove everything from the gear, and then measure them diagonally like this to see if one leg is longer than the other one. Usually one will read longer, and we want to bend that one in till it matches the shorter one. But we can wait till we get it in the vise to do that. Trying to bend gear like this while they're still mounted to the plane is just asking for trouble. The cheater boards I use to make all this a lot easier to do are just pieces of wood about 20 inches long, 2 or 3 inches wide, and straight. I mark the center and drill that for a bolt that we can use for attaching them to the landing gear. I had these finger knobs and wing nuts laying around, but you can use just about anything that'll hold them there. We're not going to be putting any real strain on these boards, so they don't have to get carried away tightening them up. I just make them good and snug so they stay where I put them, but yet I can turn them when I want to. Measuring at the ends of these boards makes it a lot easier to see small amounts of toe in or toe out, and we want to be able to identify both. First, I'll put the gear in a vise horizontally to make it easier to check the vertical toe in. We want the wheels towed in a little bit where they touch the ground, so that when we put the weight of the plane on it, the gear will spread out a little bit and wheels go closer to squared with the ground. Using these 20-inch boards, I'm looking for 3/4 of an inch of toe in at the bottom. I'm looking to change the measurement by about 3/8 of an inch when I bend each of the legs. That'll add up to 3/4 inch of toe in at the bottom. When you get it right, the top of the boards, to the right in this video, will be 3/4 of an inch wider than the bottom of the boards to the left in this video. That gives us the bottom of the wheels towed in a little bit. Next, we want to check the toe front to back. Here I have the back of the landing gear facing up. That's just so I know which end is front and which is back. You can do it whichever way is easiest for you to remember. And I'm going to want the top of the boards here to be 3/4 of an inch wider than they are at the bottom. That'll give me toe in facing the front of the plane. To make this adjustment, I remove the boards and use a large crescent wrench. This gives me the leverage I need to make a little twist in this without distorting the surface that the wheels and axles mount to. Here again, because I'm looking for 3/4 inches of total toe in measured at these boards, we'll go about 3/8 of an inch on either side. We could just bend one side to give us the 3/4 inch reading, but the plane will steer hard to one side then. When you think you're done, take the time to go over the measurements once more to be sure that nothing changed while you're adjusting. We want to make any final adjustments now before we put the gear back on. And this is the next weekend at the field, and with the weight of the plane on the gear, my wheels are looking a lot better than they did last time when it tripped and fell over. The field's still pretty soggy, but this time I can set a 17-pound airplane down and the wheels are going straight and not towed out, and it just rolls out like we want it to. Flipping a giant scale biplane over makes for good video, but I'm not going to keep doing it.